Pranjali, you can start.
Yes, ma'am. We'll start. So good.
Am I audible, Pranjal?
A very warm welcome to all of you present here today. My name is Pranjal Devkar, joined Pune Vikasa. On behalf of Pune branch of Vikasa of ICI, yes, ma'am, you're totally audible. On behalf of the Pune branch of Vikasa of ICI, I'm delighted to host this guidance session. Industrial training, as we know, is not just a requirement in CA curriculum. It's to step into the corporate world and real world exposure, build network, experience, training practice. So, we are privileged to have this channel of young professionals who are present pursuing industrial training, leading organizations like Last and Turbo, Voice, VOIS, Amazon, Morgan Stanley, and UBS. So they will be sharing their ongoing experiences, challenges, and learnings. And I'm sure this will greatly help all of us in making informed to their own remarks. Pratna ma'am, over to you.
Good evening, everyone. I hope everybody's enjoying a good tax season. I'm so glad that you guys have all joined, and I'm very grateful that all the speakers have agreed to be a panelist for today's program. And this is our second session for industrial training articles were interested. So I know it's a craze right now currently, and there is lot of good exposure for articles as well who get into industrial training. But as everything during our teenage years and articleship years, it also get into article training, and there are a lot of questions which domain we should take, which companies we should prefer, and like how to decide, what to do and what not to do. So our intention behind doing this programs repeatedly is that as new students come, they get answers to their questions, and that's what Vikasa is supposed to do: help you out in your journey, be it your career, be it your studies, and be it your fun co-curricular activities. So I'm really glad for Vikasa committee, Pune Vikasa committee, in organizing this. And thank you once again to all the panelists who will be speaking today out, and to all the attendees who have also joined in a good number, I see. See, I hope this session is very productive once, and hope it also helps in your future journey. Thank you so much, Pranjal.
Thank you for sharing such saying. Our first for the who is present is in the at Larsen and Limited. At L&T, he is working in the fund management department, gaining valuable exposure to investor onboarding as well as deal valuation and structuring. So,
Hello, am I audible?
hello. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
audible now.
So, hi Pranjal, thank you for that warm introduction. Wait, I will switch on my video. Yeah.
Yeah, please.
So is my video visible to everyone? Yeah. So
Yes, it's visible.
thank you for that warm introduction, and I would like to thank Pune Vikasa for inviting me here as a panelist. It is a great opportunity for me to interact with my CA student colleagues, and I hope it will be a great experience.
Sure. So let's start
Sure.
with the questions. When you selected your industrial training, what was the biggest deciding factor? Role, company, or the domain?
Okay, so that is actually a great question because outside of this seminar as well, whenever someone asks me about industrial training, the first and the foremost thing that I suggest anyone is that know your interest. Don't do industrial training just for the sake of it. Okay. For example, I knew that I wanted to get into core finance or maybe a consulting role. Okay. So I targeted only those companies and those roles which were offered to me, okay, in that spectrum. I did not go out for any other role or any other company. So first one will be that is the major thing. Second one will be to benchmark the opportunity that you are getting or you are looking out for with your current articleship experience. So now what exactly happens is everyone knows that, oh, he got into BCG or he got into some investments team. Okay, so that shouldn't be your criteria where someone else is getting. Your criteria is what are you currently pursuing. If you're getting a role which you feel is better than that, a brand which is better than your current role, I think you should 110% go for it. Okay. And third one would be to know about the company's culture. So basically, what happens is, for example, for me, getting time outside of work was very important because we have our CA final studies. Then I also wanted to participate in some extracurricular activities. Okay. So that is something which is very much important to me personally. So I wanted to get somewhere where I could do both. Okay. Uh, I personally know few companies whereby students are working for 12 to 14 hours a day. They are not getting weekends off. Okay. And usually investment banking and other rules require such kind of a grind. Okay. So you need to choose this fit for you because the base thing is that if you're not a chartered accountant, all of this is waste. Okay. You have to become a chartered accountant first. So you need to manage your things well. If you think, yes, there is a lot of study leave that all of us have in hand. Like now there is at least 6 months. 6 months is the minimum study leave that everyone is going to get. If you feel you can complete your portion and everything in that, you can go for an industrial training, which is hectic for you. Okay. And the fourth one would be stipend. See, I understand the fact that there is a cliche that is said, कि अभी से पैसे का क्या, अभी से पैसे का क्या. It is not related to that. Understand one thing. A good parameter can be if one company is offering two roles, okay, with both the roles having a different stipend. Understand the fact the one which has a lower stipend may not be that much revenue generating for the company itself. Okay. So that sector or that domain of that particular company may not have good clients or something like that. It is not necessary, I would say. For example, of course, in an investments role, there is a better stipend, and maybe in an FP&A role, there won't be that much of a stipend. But then sometimes you can do that, and also stipend is important because many students that I know move from various towns and cities to metro cities, and to manage your expenses out there, you have to be there for one whole year. You need to think about it that you cannot completely drain yourself in that. You have your further studies that are left, that is CA final, which is the most important thing for all of us. Okay, so those are basically the parameters which I judged which company to choose.
Okay, Kunal. So moving to the next question, I guess everyone would have got their answers.
Yeah.
According to you, what are the most important skills to build, and how should a student decide which company or role to select?
Okay, so coming on the skills part first. Okay, so nowadays, see, all of us are doing CA. So being clearing CA intern in the first or the second attempt is fine. It's okay. Okay. One thing that is going to stand distinctively is that if you have a rank in CA intermediate, that is a no-brainer thing. Okay. But if you don't have a rank, understand one thing, many of the students that I personally know are very much interested in finance. Nowadays, it is like this thing, the trend is going on, finance karna hai, core par IB karna hai, PE karna hai. Because of course those roles are dynamic, those have a good career prospect. So students tend to go to opt for those roles. But understand one thing, आपका वो फाइनेंस में इंटरेस्ट आपके पेपर में सीवी पे या फिर सामने वाले को दिखना चाहिए. ठीक है. बोलने से नो वन इज गोइंग टू गेट टू नो अबाउट यू. ओके, जस्ट बाय यू स्पीकिंग नो वन इज गोइंग टू गेट टू नो अबाउट दैट फैक्ट. एंड द सेकंड वन वुड बी, matlab in that only, in that aspect you can go for CFA. Okay, you can pursue CFA level 1. Many of the students that I personally know. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, Gunnar.
Yeah, many of the students that I personally know have pursued CFA level 1. Nowadays many students also say कि अरे CFA level 1 तो सभी कर रहे हैं, मैं करूंगा तो उसमें क्या ही अलग हो जाएगा करके. Now understand one thing, it is not a value addition for you, okay? But it is now a need, not only for industrial training perspective, but also from a career perspective. Because companies तुम्हारे CV filter कर देंगे. अगर उनको CFA level 1 का tag नहीं दिखता, so they are just going to filter out your names. Okay, so it is a need, it is not a value addition. Understand that thing. Second one would be the extracurricular thing. Okay, so before joining industrial, I did not have any extracurricular thing, but then somehow I got L&D. But then it is not the case with most of us. Okay, I know students who haven't have gotten their dream companies or their dream roles. Okay, so what you could do is go for some extracurricular things. For example, during the course of my industrial training, I participated in the National Talent Search. I won the National Talent Search. Okay, so now that is something different. Okay, that should look out distinctively in your CV, that you have something different in your CV. See, uh, if you write in your CV participated in ICI conferences, okay, so that is not something that is distinctive. You need to participate in competitions. That is going to give you an edge. Of course, pursuing other degrees is also going to give you an edge. So that is, those are the skills that you can develop. And of course, the basic one is the communication thing. Okay, you need to know how to communicate with the interviewer. Okay, so that is a key requirement whenever you go for any industrial training. And of course the technical aspect has to be strong. सबको आईबी में जाना है, but सबको पता ही नहीं है कि फाइनेंस में होता क्या है. It's fine if you don't know, even I did not know. Okay, but then doing a basic research before you are going for any industrial training, कि actually do I want to do it, तब कर रहे हैं इसलिए जाना या तो फिर पैसा ज्यादा है इसलिए जाना, is not the key to it. Okay, just understand whether you want to do that thing or not. Okay, and gain knowledge of that thing. And current affairs और सब पढ़ो. कभी कभी कुछ इंटरव्यूअर्स करंट अफेयर्स पे पूछ लेंगे तुमको, तो फिर इसलिए करंट अफेयर्स, being having good communication skills, being technically sound, having an extra degree is always going to help.
Sure, Karan. Sure. So next question, shall we?
Yeah, sure.
What was the toughest adjustment while transitioning from articleship to a corporate setup? Like it's a really tricky question, I guess.
Yeah. So it is actually a good question, and especially for me, I would say it's a very good question because I was previously associated with KPMG, okay, which is a foreign multinational firm. And then I transitioned into L&T, which is an Indian MNC. Okay, so there is a huge difference. First of all, the cultures are very, very different. The way KPMG was operating and the way L&T operates is completely different. L&T is a traditional organization whereby the leadership is age is also very high. The kind of the language in which they speak is mostly Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati. Okay, of course, professional communications do happen in English when you're speaking with the board or anyone like that. But when you are in a, I would say KPMG setup or a Big Four setup or a Big Six setup, majorly what happens is you have to communicate in English. Okay, so many a times the team themselves also communicate in English. So first is the communication thing of it. Secondly, I would say is the technical aspect, like the work. Work itself is very different. So I worked in a finance role. whereby I had to do financial modeling and everything. And in case of transfer pricing, I was in the transfer pricing role at KPMG. So there we used to the Excel that we used to do was at a very basic level. But when you move into financial modeling, okay, the Excel is not basic. So like you have to apply logic. You need to know various functions. Okay, so the quality is different. The kind of peers you interact with is going to be different. Okay, and many times what happens is in while you are pursuing your articleship, you have various articles around you. Okay, in industrial training that isn't going to be the case. Okay, कभी कभी ऐसा होगा कि इतने सारे इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रेनीज ही नहीं है वो कंपनी में. There are only one or two industrial trainees, so you need to get yourself comfortable with other peers who are senior to you as well. Okay, so those are the major I wouldn't say adjustment factors, but that is something that everyone is going to experience who are going to go into an industrial training role. Now I came from a big four. There might be someone who is coming from a mid-size or a small size firm. That's completely fine. But the fact that you need to develop your communication, like you need to get acquainted to that environment that you are in. That is my point.
And nicely explained, Kunal, actually. Yeah. So next, one real world question we'll go for. So, what's your one real world experience from your industrial training that you never imagined you would encounter?
Um, See, मेरे ऐसे बोले तो बहुत ऐसा सोचा था कि ये करेंगे वो करेंगे ऐसा होगा. So there is not something that I never imagined, but something that was very distinctive was because I had a team of only few people. Okay, there were only eight, maybe 7 to 8 people in my team, including the head of my team. Okay, so the bay in which I used to sit, thereby there was the office of the CEO just in front of us. Okay, and also the fact that noticing such kind of people, the board, the way they communicate, the way they conduct themselves is something very different. Everyone is going to learn the technical skills, but getting to understand the fact that how they operate at such an early level is something distinctive for anyone who is going to pursue industrial training if they get an opportunity for that. And because I was in the real estate investor relations and everything, and investor relations domain, so basically what happens is that now in real estate, because there are various partners, okay, in which the company partners with another company to build a project or build a building. Okay, so in that case, they would partners used to come in our offices. Now those partners were HNIs. Okay, so the way they used to carry themselves, the watches that they used to wear, was something that you will be overwhelmed with when you just see them. And speaking about the project, I would say that all the evaluations and speaking with the investors, I personally did not speak with any investor because that is not something that you get to do usually. Okay, there might be some industrial training which offer that, but then always noticing how the deals happen, how is the deal evaluation and structuring actually done, and how the negotiations happen was something which was very distinctive in my industrial training journey.
Yeah, that was great experience, I guess.
Yeah.
So, one last question I would ask. It
Yeah.
won't be last, I guess. From my side, it will be last. Maybe students will ask me some more. So, if you could restart your industrial training journey today, what's one thing you would do differently?
Um, Okay, so see, I learned a lot of technical stuff, whether it be Excel, financial modeling, deal evaluation, structuring. I also learned a lot about the real estate thing. But see, now what happens is that anyone who is aiming for investments, okay, understand one thing, investments में deals तभी होगी जब company deal कर रहा है, ठीक है? So it is a very deal based role. If you don't have deals, you're not going to get to do a full fledged deal. और एक deal चलता है 6 महीने 12 महीने, ठीक है? 6 8 not depending. In real estate, it at least takes 6 to 8 months to complete one entire deal from the evaluation till the documentation and disbursement of funds. Okay, वो 6 to 8 month का cycle होता है. Now what had happened was I have done a lot of evaluation in my industrial training journey, when I left at that point of time, we were also in the process of finalizing some projects. Okay. But I never got to experience an entire deal, I would say. Okay. So उसमें मैं कुछ कर नहीं सकता था because वो company का है तो मैं तो कुछ नहीं कर सकता. But yes, something that I would have liked in my industrial training journey was that to experience an entire deal.
Okay, nicely answered all the questions, Kunal. So one icebreaker for you.
Yeah.
One icebreaking question. Describe your industrial training at L&T Realty in 3 emojis.
Okay. Okay, so first one would be the one where someone is thinking. Okay, so because you have to practically apply a lot of your
Okay.
mind because it is not a rule-based thing. Okay, there can be
Okay.
different permutations and combinations. Second one would be um, something related to numbers or a calculator because a lot of financial modeling was involved. Okay. The third one would be
Yeah.
the peace sign because my industrial training journey was touchwood very peaceful because so that would be the three emojis in which I would describe.
Smartly answered.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we would ask audience. So if questions they have, any questions for Kunal? Anyone? From participants, anyone want to ask questions? You can raise your hand so I can call out your name and you can ask your question. No questions, I guess. Kunal, you have explained it so clearly. Oh, I got a question. Yes. Aboli, you can go ahead. Aboli, you can write it in the chat. Or you can speak. Yes, you can speak. Yes.
Okay, so am I audible right now?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah, so I just had a question from Kunal that how did he manage to approach towards the companies for getting till the interview? So did he
Okay.
use LinkedIn or some other platforms?
Okay, so there were various platforms through which I approached the companies. I think this question is going to be covered in the later part also, okay, of the entire thing. But I think it will be covered. If it doesn't get covered, I will answer. But to brief you that there are various sources. You can also approach people who are already working there on LinkedIn. Then you can apply through company's own portal. And then also, of course, reference always works. Okay. So you need to have, if you have a reference, then well and good. If you don't have it, you can also cold mail. So that is something that may or may not work, but then you can always do that. And I think your answer will get covered in the later stages of the uh, entire discussion. If it doesn't get covered, then I will be happy to answer it in.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much, Kunal.
No worries. And
Thank you,
I
Pranjal. Yeah.
Yes, no problem. Few more questions we have, Kunal. Naval
yes.
is asking, and I have decided to go for FP and A roles as I am interested towards cost and process optimization. I wanted to ask, in fact, all panelists whether they have industrial training in FP and A role. Okay, so Naval, I guess we have people with FP and A role on our panel. So maybe you will get your answer, and if it's not answered that time, so you can answer. We can answer it at the end of the session also, where all panelists will be answering together. Is that okay? Okay. So next is anonymous question. So there's one more question saying you said that before industrial training, you were not so active in extracurricular, and then you started with extracurricular and you participated in NTS and even won. So before that, you never participated, and then what did you do differently to win, and which competition you won?
Okay, so to start with, I won the best presentation competition. And yes, so in school, I used to participate in various presentations and everything. बट पोस्ट स्कूल कोविड हो गया, मेरा 10th के 2 पेपर भी मैंने तो नहीं दिए, तो तभी कोविड हो गया था. एंड पोस्ट दैट आई वाज नेवर इन्वॉल्वड इन एनी एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर्स, बट देन ऑफ कोर्स आई वाज गुड एट कम्युनिकेशन. I knew how to put my points forward. And something that I personally did differently was whenever I used to go to present anywhere, whether it was the branch, regional, or the national level, or whether it was when I was invited as Sri Lanka as a panelist, okay? So at any level that something that I follow is that you have to have that intent to provide provide some value to the audience. You are there to win. Of course, I was there to win, but I always had that intent that whatever I am saying, the audience should take anything out of it, at least something out of it. Okay, so that is something that I used to do differently. And of course, one thing I would say to anyone is that whenever you participate in any of such competitions, have a grip on the content. You do it for yourself as well. कि अगर मैंने कोई टॉपिक के बारे में पढ़ा है वो मेरे लिए भी अच्छा है. वो कंपटीशन तो एक बात है ही, बट वो मैं खुद भी उसमें अच्छा बन सकता हूँ. So that is one thing that I would suggest anyone.
Okay, one final question.
Yeah.
Someone is saying, "Hello Kunal, I'm currently doing articleship in small size firm. Would it make any difference or my experience would be the same?"
Okay, so in industrial training, so if you are doing currently your articleship in a small size firm, okay, so it is not that you won't get any industrial training or anything of that sort. Of course, you have to have something good in your CV, some good work exposure that you have done in your articleship journey or anything like that. And obviously, the industrial training experience is going to be very different for you because the offices, the setup is humongous. It's maybe overwhelming for some people as well. Okay. So, but I feel if you are in a small size or a mid-size firm, and if it is possible, okay, because आजकल LinkedIn पे बहुत चल रहा है कि कोई छोड़ नहीं रहा है हमको industrial training के लिए. If it is
Yes.
possible, then you should 100% go for industrial training if you get a good role, okay, and the required role that you want for yourself, okay. So it will be a very different experience. It will enrich your personality also, and of course you have something good on your CV. It will help you post qualification as well.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kunal. You have answered all the questions really well.
Thank you so much, Pranju.
Yes. So we'll move on to the next speaker. Our next speaker is Mr. Teet Akhani, who pursued his industrial training with VOIS in the Financial Planning Division. He will be sharing his experiences and insights from his journey. So, Teet?
Yes, Pranjal, first of all, yes, thank you
Hello.
so much. Hello, yeah. Yes. Am I audible?
Yeah, really
Yeah.
good.
Thank you so much for this nice introduction and yes, giving me an opportunity to be the part of panelist. Yeah, I'm really grateful to Pune Vikasa for the same.
Most welcome. We'll start with the questions.
Yeah.
I guess we'll get quick questions because
Sure.
everyone is waiting for the answers.
Yep.
Cracking the first interview for industrial training is often the toughest step. What's the best approach to reach your dream domain or company?
So first of all, as Kunal said, that domain is really important. First of all, be clear that at what domains you are open for industrial training. And there are some domains which you will really find interest from within, and then you will research about it, that how it practically works. You will be searching through YouTube videos, or also you would be today is the world of AI, so obviously ChatGPT and all these things can even help you that to know about what exactly that domain does in practical life. And then on basis of that, you will be able to reach to the LinkedIn connections who are working in that domain. You can ask for their experience, or you can ask for a reference to industrial training. And then the day of interview comes, where through this knowledge, subconsciously you are aware about what the domain is doing, and then you can crack the questions of interview easily.
Well answered, Teet. So the next question is, how can someone working in an audit profile connect with the FP&A domain and explore their interest further?
So first of all, it's nice one that auditing. Basically, most of our trainees is in audit or either in taxation. So my articleship was in statutory audit. At that time, we used to make working papers, or we used to have a client audits in a way of like a watchdog, that you are there to find that if there are any material misstatements or not in the financials of company. At that time also, you need to analyze that, for example, this year company has reported 100K expenses, and last year company had reported 80K. Do this 20K rise is justified? And you will come to know, okay, a company has made a new project site and where they are recurring their operating expenses. So this is your view. There even we are analyzing, but we are analyzing from a view that whether it is proper, there is no material misstatements. But when it comes to FP&A, first of all, only P&L items would be majorly in the focus. Second thing, you would be on the side of management. Okay, this is 80K, now is 100K. Will it be 120K in next year, or it would be even more or less? And then you will find that, okay, this was just expense, a non-recurring one. So you will not forecast more expenditure onwards. Or in similar term, example goes with the revenue stream, that this customer would be giving me revenue or not. The principles of Ind AS 115 or IFRS 15, we will be applying through it. So the thing is, this is the link between audit and FP&A. Audit is also an analysis which we do, and analytical procedures are really important in audit to minimize our sample testing, the correct one. But from when it comes to FP&A, the analysis is on the part of management, and to see the tomorrow, which we have to change the view.
Okay. So moving ahead to the next question.
Yep.
How is the corporate culture at VOS different from
Nice.
what you have experienced during your articleship?
Nice one again. So the thing is that Wise is a corporate MNC. It is basically a UK based MNC, Vodafone Intelligence Solutions. So the thing is that as it is, so holidays, the work pattern, the stakeholders are of UK based. Second thing, since it's an MNC, there is much what we say organized thing, step to step things, SOPs for all these things. For even just to take a simple printout, we need to follow a set of procedures of accesses and all these things. So it's obviously as a corporate culture, it would be more professional. Although I'm not saying that articleship is less with, but the thing is, here you need to interact with stakeholders out of country as well if you are in a global MNC. Then when it comes to articleship, we do have local clients, we do have local environment. When it comes to MNC, no, the stakeholder is only understanding English, and he's only as per his time zones, as per his culture. So you need to be somewhat flexible towards it. And yes, apart from that, there are some, as it's corporate, there are set of rules. So it's also applicable that you get more work from home, you get fixed leaves, there are no calls on Saturdays and Sundays. So these are some perks of industrial training of corporate MNCs.
It was actually, I got the difference clearly.
Yep.
So moving to the next question. What kind of learning curve are you experiencing in telecom and financial planning roles during your industrial training?
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, audible. I guess you have asked me that what is the learning curve in telecom and FP&A domain, right?
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, telecom, which I want to highlight, that since Vodafone is a telecom industry, before I joined, I was just thinking that how much would I do analysis in selling SIM cards? So as Vodafone is just operating for SIM cards, majorly for SIM cards in India. So we have to do a mindset, okay, क्या ही होगा SIM card बेचने लेने में? But the thing is, no, telecom industry was much wider than what I have expected. And there are many technical terms. You really understand the business, since it is not FMCG thing that you are aware about your day-to-day routine. It is completely different thing. You get to know some technical terms of network thing which is taught in engineering, and then you have to also interact with sales managers who are already engineers, and they are just explaining you the technical terms. So no, like this, you will be like working in telecom really helped me to know more about that particular business, churn, ARGUs, and all these things, some technical network cost. And you will be even amazed that, okay, telecom can earn revenue from these streams, which we can't even imagine on a normal side of that. Then coming to FP&A, I think that yes, FP&A actually helped me to convey more in short time, because when your analysis will be relevant, if you are able to convey it to the point and even in short time, if you are consuming the time of the one who is reviewing it, there is no use of you doing that much of analysis and spending that much of time. So even you have to do lots and lots of work and Excel sheets and all these things, and just you have to sum up in one particular tab of uh, your Excel and giving all your conclusions, commentaries to the point, because they would be only given 5 to 10 minutes of work which you have done for 5 to 7 hours. So summing it up, not only analyzing well, like during the time of analysis, we find many things irrelevant, then bifurcating the relevant things out, then extracting the particular point, then also need to present it well through dashboards and Excel sheets, pivots, and all these things. So yes, this was I learned more that, okay, no matter how much efforts do you put in, it matters how shortly, crisply, and serving the purpose you are able to put in front of a reviewer or any stakeholder.
Okay. So moving to the fifth question.
Yep.
Which specific skills like Excel, Power BI, or others are proving most useful for you in your training?
Yes, you have already covered both of them, Excel and Power BI. So Excel is like a heart of FP&A domain, and pivot is like a playground, or like I say the tables which we used to in maths. It's pivot is like the heart, like you just have to move ahead with pivots, and pivot will be only the thing which you will be able to like doing multiple times every day. So again, pivots and Excels are also lookups and all these formulas. Even building dashboards. Dashboards are good for presentation, and Excel is the base of your analysis. So I think that Excel and Power BI, these two are the basic softwares. Obviously, there are Tableau, there are other software as well. But uh, Excel and Power BI, the base. Power BI is, even Excel is the base. Power BI is just the presentation form of Excel thing to present it well. So yes, Excel and Power BI, to have a grip on it is really necessary. And even if you don't have during your articleship or anything, don't worry. If you are get selected, they will give you lots and lots of work that you will learn without even asking to anyone. Because either you will end up wasting your time, and gradually you will learn, okay, this is how I should do it in a
Yeah,
effective.
it goes with the flow.
Yeah, it goes with flow completely. Agreed.
Okay. So one icebreaker for you, Tit.
Yep.
Your funniest or toughest Excel struggle, like everyone experienced in their articleship and industrial training. So what was your?
So for me, it was opening around 6 to 7 files simultaneously, that two bulky ones, and linking all those files with each other and deriving a dashboard. And then after spending 2 to 3 hours, you realize that it's your carelessness to open these many files simultaneously, and the laptop, I mean that Excel, gets crashed, and even it's not auto recovered. And at that time, you regret, oh, my 3 years are wasted. And then your manager calls, what have you done? No, I just crashed next. So so this was
I was thinking how this struggle can be tough and funny at once, but I've got that thing.
so this was the then you realize, okay, when you are working with low volume of data, you can manage, you can afford to work on multiple files together. But when it comes to large volume of data, it's always good to keep relevant extracts in a separate file, and close that file to close or irrelevant things. And then this how you can keep your data short, crisp, useful for analysis in from just one file. And even it's helpful to explain any other one rather than navigating through 7 files while presentation. So yes, this
Okay.
was one thing.
Okay, and so let's open question and answers for the audience.
Yep.
So audience, any questions you can drop in the question and answer box. So I will let him know. Let's see. Any questions? Any questions? You can even raise your hand if you're typing the question, so I can wait for you.
I guess I can answer Nawal's question, which he asked previously. That
Yeah, you can answer that one. Yes,
yeah.
he was asking specifically for FP and A.
So I have decided to go for FPN, and I am interested towards cost and process optimization. I wanted to ask, in fact, all panelists that industrial training FPN role. So yes, cost and process optimization is a mix of business finance as well as FPN. So business finance is one where you are also involved in strategy making, and FPN is once you are a support to that strategy maker. So yep, in some Indian companies, you can even explore that role about optimizing cost. But when it comes to FP&A, it about analyzing all these things and giving a conclusion about. However, the final call is of the business decision makers. As an FP&A, your role is that okay, I am not there, or as an FP&A, or I might say as a uh, for MNC company where decision making is outside of India, your role is to make their role easier, make the task in such a crisp way that they can easily derive out of decisions out of them. So yes, obviously that should be in the mind.
Okay. That one more question is there.
Yes.
Why extracurricular do you believe is essential to make your CV stand out? Also, how to get an interview?
Yes, actually, it is very important for extracurricular activities. Even during my interview, so basically for extracurricular activities, I have participated in. I mean, I have won even till regional and branch levels, and have been to nationals for competitions like extempore, elocution, paper presentations, and all these things. And this really helped me when I was just put into the CV. The interviewer was in a mindset that if a man can manage his studies, his C articleship in a Big Six, I was in Big Six. So from there, so he could even manage my work well as well. So this is the point that I can do this many things because I had already done. I have already done a skill of multitasking. This shows that you are a multitasker. The second thing about it also depends on where your extracurricular activities are in. For example, I was presenting paper on analysis itself. I had presented conference in artificial intelligence and analysis or in finance types. So my interviewer was even impressed that a man has taken initiatives by himself to go through that topic. Means he's already, his mind is analytical to go through enough. So these are the skills which you will portray from your extracurricular activities. If you say I was a captain or in a good one, not a class monitor. So if I was a captain, this shows your leadership skills or any of these things. This sometimes shows your skill to public speaking skills and just what if roles require. So these are the important why extracurricular activities should. And apart from that, yeah, you are doing CA course. You are your final studies, articleship and final studies. Please have some time to fill yourself in a college by participating in Vikasa events and extracurricular activity. It will really help to refresh your mind.
So, last two quick questions.
Yep.
Did
Yep.
can a candidate who knows financial modeling, Excel, and has an NISM research analyst certificate as a plus can break into FP&A, M&A, PE, etc.?
Yes, I believe financial modeling is base. It will be even helpful in FPN. It will be even helpful in like CFA, like equity type roles where you need to forecast the share price or forecast the financials of that particular company in future. The NISM certification, actually it is a tag that you will one can outshine through. If you already have, well and good. But if you don't have, you can have, but don't invest much of time in it. Is an extraordinary thing, but don't invest much time that it upon it. Yep.
Okay. This one is actually I don't know. It's just like a compliment for you, I guess.
Yeah.
How did you manage to stay this funny and witty while doing this serious course? Just the way people think about us, like CA and CFA. Though your Gujarati accent is really cute, I guess that's good. But on a serious note, how do you
Yes.
manage your temperament with all these works and stress and competition?
The thing is, why what I believe is that I should enjoy what I'm doing. And if I'm enjoying what I'm doing, then I can maintain my mental health, my nature of being funny at all the time, whatever, wherever and whatever I am. So basically, since I was loving this analytical part, I love courses like CA and CFA. I love domain like FP&A. When I'm working 8 or 9 hours in a single domain, I don't feel stressed or burned out at the end. And if you are not stressed or burned out, the humor will automatically come. When humor or when you can't be yourself, when you are stressed or when you are doing what you are not liking. So I would say that again, when Kunal also addressed that, don't do industrial training for just doing industrial training or just to have tag or just to have and tick in your resume. Do industrial training if you really love that role, if you really love the working hours, the work culture where you are in, because ultimately you have to manage your studies, you have to manage your temperament, and you have to be happy all the time, whether you are studying industrial training or doing activities and all this.
Yes. One last and small question,
Yep.
really quick.
Yep.
Uh, Hi, Tit. I wanted to know that in tools specifically, do your team use Excel, Power BI, or more advanced tools for planning and analysis?
No, I must not sugarcoat it. I would say directly that Excel and Power BI are the base. There are advanced tools, but are really used less. So I would say that just focus on your Excel and Power BI skills, and that will deter enough.
Okay, thank you so much, Tit. Thank you for your time, and we'll
Thank you.
continue the session at the last. Like
Yes.
all panelists will be
Thank
speaking, so I
you.
guess you won't get bored to
Yes,
that.
it was amazing answering all the questions. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yes, thank you
Yep.
so much, Tit. So moving on to our third speaker. Now we have Sarthak Joshi, who is currently pursuing his industrial training with Amazon in the FP&A domain, a fast-paced environment that offers him exposure to financial planning, analysis, and decision-making processes. So, hi Sarthak.
Hey, hi, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Hi. So, shall we begin with the questions?
Yeah, absolutely fine. Thanks for the warm welcome.
Most welcome. What steps can a CA student take to secure industrial training opportunities like the one you are currently pursuing?
To be honest, this is the one question which I'll take much of my time to answer also, because a lot of messages on LinkedIn and any other social platform which I am available on, to exactly how, and of course, all the attendees who are there in this session would be really excited to know on exactly, okay, there's much bluff about how the role is, what we need to do, but first of all, how to land an interview, right? And how to exactly achieve that industrial training role. So I'll just take 5 minutes quick, and I'll tell you the quick path. And if someone is following this path, they'll surely be able to get an industrial training easily in whatever company they are targeting. Excluding few like BCG and all, where rank would play a bit of a factor. And if you are rank holder, then that would be also uh, open door for you guys. So what you should do is, like, supposedly if you are eligible for industrial training in upcoming 2 to 3 months, so I expect that you should start looking for industrial training. If you are firm that I want to go for industrial training, get that corporate exposure, so should be always finding it before 2 to 3 months. Like 3 months is max, 2 months minimum you should be investing your time, because it is not like you'll be able to invest much of your time daily. Maybe 10 to 15 minutes here and there in a day, you'll be able to text out people in LinkedIn, somewhere around on some career portals, or through some references. So at least 2 months you need to invest, because there's a complete maths. Okay, it is not about luck, or it is not about uh, someone landing in Amazon, someone landing in Voice, or someone landing in L&T. I hope that all panelists would agree that it is a sheer effort which a fellow would put in on a daily basis and land into a dream job or a dream company which he has thought of, or a role which would be satisfactory for him. So at least 2 months before you should start. Now, how to approach the company is the major question. I would say LinkedIn is one of the powerful tool, but सब लोग बोलते हैं कि LinkedIn यूज करना चाहिए, but कैसे यूज करना चाहिए? I would suggest that develop the connections when you enter your articleship itself. If people are some people might be like far away from the industrial training opportunity as of now, start developing your LinkedIn profile, build good connections, because at the end what happens is prior 2 months you send the connections which would be tough, okay, because then your connection request might not be accepted and you will be not able to message or DM the right person, correct? So believe that as much as connections you'll be having, there are features such as premium and everything, but connections would matter a lot. So have good connections around industry, around interns working in different industries, so that you'll be able to reach out the right person. Also, do not, when you are DMing someone or when you are messaging someone, do not just be of a thought that I'll just keep up an idle message that, hi, I want an industrial training opportunity, can you refer? People usually draft a message and copy paste. Sometimes I have seen people texting me as, hi Vivek, by the way my name is Sarthak, so you should have texted me, hi Sarthak. तो वहीं पे आपका glitch हो जाएगा और आप कहीं ना कहीं वो opportunity miss कर जाओगे, सामने वाला irritate हो जाएगा. So be cautious. Maybe it is not like you need to text hundreds of people daily, but 50 people, but in a right sense, okay? अगर आपको कोई मैसेज करेगा उस हिसाब से आपने मैसेज करना है कि यार मैं इस मैसेज को एंटरटेन करूंगा या नहीं. So that's something you should be thinking of. To talk about one more key aspect is getting through HR route. People usually miss, like people go through some different references working out in their company and miss on HR people. So you should be also trying to connect with different HR, because to your interview, to your industrial training, HR will be the person who will make you to that interview. Okay. So try to connect with different HR. Do not try to directly get their phone numbers and call them, because it will also irritate them. But a small ping on WhatsApp, or if you have their number, or if you have their mail ID, you can uh, definitely mail them and maybe try and get entertained by themselves. So this is a broader perspective on to how exactly you will create a lead to get an interview. Myself got around 8 to 9 of interviews and got around four offer letters from different companies like Reliance, Vodafone Intelligence Services, Amazon, also Mars FMCG Global. So it was not that, and of course, you might be thinking, so I am from a Big Four, EY, my articleship was from Big Four, but at Amazon, I have people from very small firms also. I have people alongside working with me whose firm name I never heard of. But it was due to just sheer continuous efforts on a daily basis. बिकॉज जैसे आईसीआई का एग्जाम्स भी आप लोग देते हो तो 1.5 दिन में पढ़ के आप नहीं दे सकते, आपको साल भर पढ़ना पड़ेगा. तो उसके लिए आपको थोड़ा पहले से एफर्ट मारना पड़ेगा. एंड आई फील connecting with people would really help in getting industrial training. I I hope that I haven't deviated much to the question, but try to answer it well.
Yeah. No, 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 Sarthak, you didn't deviate from that. It was actually about the opportunities you can get.
Yeah.
So moving on to the next question. Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, you can go.
So, how is your experience working with cross team or cross functional collaborations during your industrial training?
Really interesting one. So at Amazon, one of the thing which I never explored, and coming here, it was really new to me, was I am able to work with people from tech background. Correct. Having just sheer financial knowledge will also not help, and having just technology knowledge, as AI is somewhere overtaking a world completely now. So we are using on a daily basis a lot of AI tools. So Amazon being really cross-functional in its teams and everything, so I really get opportunities to work with software developers, as well as there are business intelligence teams which are called as BI. So these are the people from tech background, which are IITians or people who have done BTech. So get a good mix of how exactly we can analyze the data by automating it using artificial intelligence. So that was a really great experience. I would say majority of my time at Amazon, rather than working around analysis around automation, how exactly we can leverage AI to turn around the productivity and as well as invest more time in analyzing the data.
Okay. So, next question. What
Mhm.
kind of projects are you currently handling in your industrial training that are giving you maximum learnings?
Okay. Can I think for a moment?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So basically, I am at Amazon in financial planning and analysis, but financial planning and analysis also has different subsets to it, which amongst I am into global corporate procurement, which is known as GCP. So corporate procurement is nothing but all the indirect procurement at Amazon, whichever happens. Like supposedly you want to purchase lots of monitors for your office, some trucks for Amazon deliveries, everything. So all the indirect set of procurements which are done in Amazon, I am the one who would be analyzing around that. So in CA intermediate, people might recognize that you might have learned around cash flow statements that should we lease that product or should we purchase that product, or supposedly should we purchase it from that vendor, what credit terms we are getting in. So this is sort of a role which I am getting. There are a lot of ad hoc tasks also which I work on, but it is the majority part of my work wherein I also work around vendor financial health, that exactly how a vendor would be able to give me the product, what would be the delivery terms, what would be the tat, what would be the turnaround time and everything. So basically it is all around procurement. So I am looking after purchase specifically because at my articleship also I was in risk consulting wherein I got good opportunities to work with good big automobile clients. So I was working around purchase and hopefully I got here also into global corporate procurement. So that's pretty much about my role, which is really impressive.
That's actually impressive. How do you see industrial training shaping your long term career plans?
Okay, okay, cool. So I am someone who is not looking forward to be a lot more time into job, because I feel the much of the time if you do not want to do job and land into some business in future, because CAs are now is not like as usual into firms and you just do audit and taxes. You can of course use your business acumen and your finance acumen and eventually get into some better area. So I feel that being into procurement division of such a big organization like Amazon, I get to learn a lot about business. When I was at EY, also different clients I have seen specific to industrial training, being at Amazon towards such a large area which is procurement. So I feel my future plan would be sometime landing into a business, doing my own thing, would really help me to establish such rigid controls into my organization. So that would be something which would be really helpful.
Yeah, that's actually amazing. So, one last question from a five set of questions.
Okay.
Um, if a student wants to improve efficiency during training, which
Okay.
one skill would you recommend as most impactful?
You're talking about industrial training?
Yeah,
Okay, cool. So during your industrial training, I would suggest one of the skill which is really important and would make you reach somewhere in heights to your careers would be creating impact. So creating impact is also a skill. Few people who are working in industrial training are just doing day to day tasks which are assigned to them and not trying to create an impact. So at a small scale, at a trainee level, you might think that what impact I can bring in. But always when you try to kind of like in my case, I'm trying to automate certain tasks using AI or using some Power Queries or using some Python scripts, which will be easily available through AI tools. So when you leverage and give an organization a value, it will create an impact, and it will be always, and it will increase the chances of PPO as well, if you might be thinking of. So I feel creating an impact, I don't know if it shall be considered as a skill or not, but I feel you should be always of a thought that अगर मैं छोटा सा भी काम कर रहा हूँ, so this would also create an impact at a larger level. So I'll be doing it of a thought process that we can always improvise it. Correct.
well said, Sarthak. Like, it was really, im- means what we say, you just explain the question and answer from the both same words. I asked you
So
recommend as most impactful, and you said impact your work. It was like really amazing, I guess. You have impacted with
thanks,
your
sir.
answer, I guess.
That's
Yeah.
really funny.
Yeah. So one icebreaker question I would like to ask,
Mhm.
like everyone,
Mhm.
if your Amazon training was a product on
Mhm.
Amazon.com,
Mhm.
so what would be its title and rating be?
Oh, I was not ready for
It's
this.
quite tricky question.
Yeah, just give me a
Like,
moment because it's just 3 months at Amazon. Uh, yeah, okay. So a couple of like last month we were building a tool around vendor financial health. Okay. So as of now, I see myself as all about vendors and procurement and how exactly the purchase process in an organization would look and analysis around it. So I would say my training would be titled as for whomsoever wants to purchase it as ease procurement, and I would rate it, of course, 5 on 5 maybe because
who would
yeah,
rate its product lower?
yeah,
Yeah. So let's open up our question box. I
yeah,
guess
sure,
already questions are here.
okay.
Okay. Yes. So first question is, hello Sarthak, since you suggested starting 3 months in advance, don't
Hmm.
you think giving interviews that early might be too soon? Others may be ready to join immediately.
Hmm. Okay. Is the question completed?
Yes, yes.
Okay, sure. So I haven't said that you have to give interviews 3 months prior, right? There are companies like D Shaw or BCG which would hire 4 months prior, also 5 months prior. In fact, for BCG, to my friends got hired around 5 months before the industrial training tenure would be available to them. So I am saying few organization, of course, tells you to give interviews as early as possible. But I'm saying that those 3 months you are not you kind of not giving interviews, but preparing for that interview to land that interview. Because when you build the connections those 3 months, then when your time comes, you'll be easily able to approach people, you'll be easily able to land an interview, you will be ahead of thousands of people who are applying, because vacancies would be in an organization. Let's suppose Amazon, there are just 10 vacancies maybe a quarter, and thousands of applicants who are applying, right? So, but if you have a right set of reference in that organization, right set of connects with the HR, you'll be able to. So those 3 months are about preparation. It's not about, because people lack on preparation, I feel so. So I think so I have answered your question.
Okay. Next question is role as FP&A in Amazon has
Hmm.
subset roles like P2P, O2C, Treasury, as many of your explanations suggest something like a P2P department role.
I okay. So I feel procurement, you took it as P2P, being quite aware around risk consulting or internal audit being P2P, O2C, and everything. Of course, there are different diversions to FP&A role. I'm into procurement. Few of my friends into books business. Few of my friends into stores business. So it's not necessarily you'll be specific to treasury or the areas you usually hear. So, but yeah, of course, there are subsets to FP&A domain as well.
Okay. One last question.
Hmm.
For starting your own business someday, in your
Hmm.
opinion, what is the field in finance which will teach the most about real life business and its working?
Mm, okay. So for me, I'll just start, give you a short brief on. For me, during my articleship, I got offer from Deloitte Start Audit, KPMG Start Audit, as well as I was about to give an interview for PwC, and then I got into risk consulting at EY. So at EY in risk consulting, if someone you want to suggest in future also, and for you, I'll tell for industrial training, I believe risk consulting would give you much of a knowledge if you are at a good firm around how exactly the business would look, because you'll be around operations. And for industrial training, I believe if you want to learn about business and someday you'll be able to land into business, for industrial training, I suggest consulting, management consultings, maybe in a boutique firm or a company like or a firm like BCG, and also FP&A roles to a great extent, because in that organization, if you're in a large organization, there are multiple areas to that organization which are kind of wired together. So I feel FP&A and consulting would someday be able to explain you how exactly the business runs, and maybe you'll be able to run your business in future.
Nicely explained, Sarthak. Every question was nicely explained. I guess no more questions are left now. So,
Okay.
because they already had their questions drafted and posted
Hmm.
in the question box.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Sarthak. Uh,
Thanks a
we'll,
lot.
we'll again speak at the end of the session. So, yeah, thank you so much.
Cool.
Let's move on to the next speaker. Next speaker is Prachi Shah. She's currently pursuing her industrial training with Morgan Stanley in the niche area of data governance with financial risk management. She works on automating process using Power BI and SharePoint, and also brings prior experience from Deloitte in advisory and global tax domains. So, hi Prachi.
Hi Pranjal, thanks for the warm welcome.
You're most welcome, Prachi. So, I guess you enjoyed the session till now,
Yes.
and it's your turn to answer the questions. So, let's begin. Shall we?
Yes, Pranjal.
Yeah. So, first question is, what was your first day or first project experience like, and what major learning did you take from it?
So to tell about my internship, the first project was something I didn't expected. It was like my ED said, the executive director, that me and one more intern with me, you have to act as an auditor for the team. So here in my domain, what we do, we have a policy and we follow that. We work within that policy. So my task was to see that whether my team is following the policy or not. To keep a check on my teammates, whether they are working properly or not, whether they are taking approvals properly or not. So here it was like funny for me for the first time, like ये क्या कर रही हूँ मैं यहाँ पे आके, and then I understood that it will help me to learn about the department, how it actually works, and this gave me a brief idea about what is the work process or the workflow and how can I help in that. And post this project, I am getting new other projects which are based on automating the old ones. Like I have seen the base key, how it is going on, and how can I add a value to it. So yes.
I guess it was quite interesting experience, I feel. Okay, so next question is, what students should keep in mind while preparing their resume to stand out for MNC roles?
So the first thing is you need to create an impact on your resume. To give an example, if you are from audit background, you can not just write, yes, I did an audit of a listed company or 10 crore का revenue था मैंने उसका audit किया वगैरह वगैरह, but make an impact out of it कितना revenue था, but I had found a discrepancy in that. The discrepancy was about around 5% of the total amount or something like that will make you stand out. कि हाँ भाई ये सिर्फ काम नहीं करता ये इम्पैक्ट बताता है. इट इज ऑल अबाउट क्रिएटिंग अ इम्पैक्ट ऑन द एचआर's माइंड कि हाउ एफिशिएंट यू आर, हाउ गुड you are at your work, and this only can be made using numbers or something in extracurricular activities. To talk like to the point, you should have numbers in your CV which tells what you have done or what impact you have created.
Well said, Prachi, actually. It is really a tough question all the time. Like everyone asks for how to stand out in resume, and I guess it's almost everyone have that question. Like, is my resume standing out? So next question is, how did your role prepare you for future corporate finance or global MNC opportunities?
So to talk about my role, it is not more on a finance side of a thing. It is a tech ka role. It is more on a tech based role. The people around me are from engineering background and all. to talk about how it will help me in other MNCs. So I work in data governance, and every firm, the data is very important for them. The data integrity, the data security is the most important thing. And because of the right data, it is not only just कि बाहर data leak ना हो जाए. This is not the only point. It is कि अंदर भी हम लोग जो firm के अंदर data use कर रहे हैं to generate new reports. The data should be proper, and data used for calculating different numbers should be proper. And this is needed by each and every MNC. Banks nahi, but other MNCs maybe it is very useful. Although the process is different for each one, but the data governance part of a thing to set a lineage kind of a thing is very important. It creates a logic in your mind, how you think, how the data moves from one system to another.
Okay. Next question is, what was the biggest work culture difference you noticed between articleship and industry?
So my answer is something different from the previous speakers. I was from a Big Four, but in my experience during my Big Four journey was it was more a family kind of a thing. We used to sit together, chill together, and रोते भी साथ में थे. बॉस को गाली भी साथ में ही देते थे. But इधर in industrial training, it is more of a hierarchical kind of a thing. You need to be more professional. The approvals, the time it takes to settle here is more than what it took me in my Deloitte journey. Here, it is more kind of a professional. You are with cross-border teams. Like my team only is in different countries. नॉट कि दूसरे टीम से बात करना है और दूसरे कंट्री से बात करना है, बट मेरा ही टीम अलग अलग कंट्री में बेस्ड है, तो इट इज मोर प्रोफेशनल एंड yes, it is very different from a CA firm, not a Big Four, but a CA firm.
Okay, so practically that is too much professional, what we say, following that full hierarchy and all. Okay, so last question from a 5 set of questions. What are the main challenges you are facing during this training?
So, like, it has just been 4 months I'm here, and the main challenge I faced was the mindset, because I am from a CA background and the peers around me are from an engineering background. The way they think is different from mine. I am more about numbers and they are more about tech. And also to understand the department, like I am in data governance, not security. The thin line of difference between governing something, putting controls on something, and in securing something is very different. And also to understand the environment of the whole business unit, like why is it important in decision making of this firm, and what is the major role this business unit plays in the final investment for the firm. Like it took me a lot of time to understand what are we doing here.
The basic question we every time when someone start with its articleship or any training, like we are like, what am I actually doing? Yeah, that I can feel that. Okay, one icebreaker for you. Okay, one question. Explain data governance in one simple line to a 10-year-old.
So this is the first
Quite
question I had
challenging, but
asked my manager कि हम कर क्या रहे हैं यहाँ पे. And so to explain you what data governance is, basic example लेते हैं. आप बोर्ड हो, आपको कोई रिपोर्ट चाहिए. मतलब मेरे डिपार्टमेंट में इट इज कि वी हैव वेरियस सब सेगमेंट्स लाइक क्रेडिट रिस्क, मार्केट रिस्क, लिक्विडिटी हो गया, स्ट्रेस टेस्टिंग हो गया, क्लाइमेट रिस्क हो गया, country risk हो गया. Each and every department has many sub departments in that, and they generate week on week, month on month, quarterly reports for the board to take decision. अभी ये रिपोर्ट जनरेट करने के लिए दे ऑल्सो नीड नंबर्स, एंड नंबर्स के अलावा भी चीजें लगती है, जैसे कि कंट्री हो गया या कुछ दूसरी चीजें हो गई। अभी दे आर नॉट दी पीपल जिसको डायरेक्टली ये चीज मिलती है, ये चीज फर्म के बाहर से कहीं से आ रही है। सपोज कि हम लोग किसी न्यूज़पेपर से ले रहे हैं डेटा, कि किसी एजेंसी से डेटा ले रहे हैं। डेटा पहले आएगा ऑपरेशंस टीम के पास, ऑपरेशन टीम ट्रांसफर करेगी हमें, इसके बीच में आ जाती है 50 अलग अलग सिस्टम्स। तो टू मेंटेन अ कंट्रोल कि बाहर से जो डेटा आ रहा है वो बराबर आ रहा है कि नहीं, जो दूसरी टीम के पास जा रहा है वो बराबर आ रहा है कि नहीं, टू दी एंड पॉइंट कि मेरे डिपार्टमेंट के पास वो डेटा आ रहा है, वेदर इट इज फुल, वेदर इट इज करेक्ट, वेदर इट इज टाइमली, टू पुट कंट्रोल्स एंड टू सी कि कोई से ओन कर रहा है कि नहीं। अगर डेटा गलत आ रहा है तो रिपोर्ट गलत निकलेगा, हमारा डिसीजन गलत होगा। क्रेडिट रेटिंग तूने ए का ए दे दिया या ए का बी दे दिया, खत्म हो गया, इन्वेस्टमेंट गलत हो गया। तो to put controls in this, the governance team comes into the role to check the calculations कि ये लोग कैलकुलेट जो सिस्टम में कर रहे हैं वो बराबर है कि नहीं, इनका फॉर्मूला बराबर है कि नहीं। क्रेडिट वाला फॉर्मूला लगा के रख देता है, इट इज आवर ड्यूटी टू सी कि फर्स्ट टाइम जब फॉर्मूला लग रहा है फॉर्मूला से राइट आंसर आएगा कि नहीं। So this is mainly about data governance. It includes many other things like PDIs हो गया, like prioritize क्या है। अगर मेरे पास 3,000 चीजें हैं ये साल में करने की, मैं 3,000 की 3,000 चीजें अकेली नहीं कर सकती हूँ, 10 लोगों की टीम है, कितना ही करेगी। टू गिव प्रायोरिटी, टू सेट बाउंड्रीज कि हाँ ये साल में हम लोग 500 चीजें ही करेंगे। इट इज द मेन वर्क ऑफ दिस डिपार्टमेंट।
So simply said, it sounds simple, but it's too risky. Yes. Okay. So we are open for the questions. You guys can ask the questions. Please be quick, because we can move on to our fifth speaker. Any questions? No questions, guys? Yeah, there's one question. Karan, are you typing it? I guess he's typing. We will wait 2 minutes so he can just give the question.
So yes, type it. Like, how did you get into Morgan Stanley? What was the core criteria that you think which helped you slip into Morgan Stanley? Did you have any reference as well? Yes. To answer the last one, reference, Morgan Stanley reference नहीं लेता. It is purely based on the website पे career portals पे vacancy आते हैं. You apply there and connect to the HR via LinkedIn. She helps out. She is very good. सबको जवाब देती है. And core criteria. So here, when I see peers around me, there is nothing like a core criteria. Like आप कोई स्पेसिफिक बैकग्राउंड से वो लोग चेक नहीं करते हैं. आई हैव सीन पीपल फ्रॉम वैल्यूएशंस, आई हैव सीन पीपल फ्रॉम ऑडिट ऑल्सो. आई माई सेल्फ वॉज फ्रॉम टैक्स बैकग्राउंड, एंड द थिंग दे सी इन यू इज लाइक at an internship level they are investing in you, कि you will be a part of firm for a long period of time post your internship also. The thing which they see in you, the learning skills, do you want to learn, what makes you different from others, and what values do you consider. They are very particular about their values. How is your code of conduct, how do you conduct yourself, how do you present yourself is most important. And to crack interviews, at my time I had 4 rounds of interview, and they mostly focused on what were my learning skills and what value added, what it added value in me. लाइक जस्ट काम करके रख दिया, एडवाइजरी बना के रख दिया टैक्स की, वो नहीं चाहिए था उनको. अगर एडवाइजरी बनाई है तो उसको रियल लाइफ में मैं अपने लिए मैंने कॉर्पोरेट एडवाइजरी बनाई है कंपनी के लिए, बट फॉर अ पर्सन, फॉर अ इंडिविजुअल, हाउ इट इज हेल्पफुल टू मी, दे चेक दैट.
Well answered, Prachi. It was really easy to understand like what they want actually. So thank you so much, Prachi. We'll move on to the next speaker and continue. I guess one more question is there for you. Yeah, thank you from Karan also. It's a thank you. So let's move on to our next speaker. Our final speaker for the session is Mr. Prashant Kothari, who is currently undergoing his industrial training with UBS in the Global Finance Division. He will be sharing his experiences and key learnings from this exposure. One more, he is also the creator of YouTube channel named Stock Market Read, where he shares insights on finance and investing. So, hi Prashant.
Hello, Pranjal. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. So let's begin with our questions. We'll be quick because it's already late, I guess.
Sure,
Everyone is waiting.
sure.
So, yes, what factors helped you gain entry into your present industrial training?
See, there aren't any specific factors I would say that help you. Just one thing that you should have as an applicant is that you should have something extra to offer. It could be anything. It might not even be related properly to the job that you are applying for, the industrial training you are applying for, but you should have something extra. That edge if you have, then you will be able to at least make the resume reader notice ki yes, you have something extra. For my case, I was doing content creation at that point of time, and in my interview actually I had only one round at UBS, and when they asked me questions about FM, I answered them, but when they moved to FR, I said, I don't have any idea about FR. Please don't ask me. So they again moved to FM and asked about many things like what is EBITDA? If my age is this much, how much should I invest? Mutual funds and everything. So you should have something, you should have an edge on something, and you should have practical working knowledge of the job that you are applying for and finance.
Okay, crisply explain that you should have something on edge, like something different
Yes.
you want. Yes. Okay. Moving on to the next question. How important are technology tools like Excel, SAP, or Power BI in your current training?
It is very important. I was actually joined into Credit Suisse and then integrated into UBS. So in Credit Suisse, they use Oracle. In UBS, they use SAP. So getting the working knowledge of all these things is very important. We use Power BI on everyday basis, on monthly basis, and all the other tools. And Excel is like the base for everything. So no need to ask for that even. And getting to that advanced Excel level is very important while moving to any job in finance, I would say.
Okay, so there's no option for Excel, I guess.
Agreed. And just to add, SAP, Oracle, all these things, you don't have to learn it before joining the organization. You are a trainee, you aren't expected to know everything. They will teach you. There will be people who will be giving you handover, or there will be people who will be telling you what to do and what not to do.
That's actually an add-on point because everyone is like, if I have that point, I have learned SAP before, I have Power BI, I can add it to my resume and it will stand out. Does it make sense or it doesn't matter for them?
It actually doesn't matter, and getting a SAP course is actually very costly. It cost around, I think, lakh or 100,
It's
1.5
around
lakh.
3 lakhs, I guess, cost,
Yes,
I guess.
I didn't research about it much, but yes, it isn't important for SAP and for Oracle, for these kind of organizational softwares. ERP I'm talking about. But when you go to Power BI, Excel, these are the things where you can learn anywhere. There are multiple free websites available where you can learn all these things. Power BI, Excel, Alteryx, Tableau, all these things are available, and you can, what should I say? You can do these courses or certifications and stand out.
Okay. Next question. How are you overcoming communication barriers while working with cross-border or diverse teams during your training?
Well, that is actually a very personal question for me as well, because being an introvert, I had to find that point where I had to become extrovert for communicating with people, even with my content creation, even while talking to stakeholders here in India or offshore. So it was very, I wouldn't say hard. It comes by practice, I would say. You just can't make your mind कि नहीं, I will be an extrovert, मैं सब कुछ बोलूंगा जो जैसे बोलेगा. No, that doesn't happen at all. Even if you think about that in your mind, that won't happen. So you just have to go by practice. Speak up when you can and be curious always. And when you are curious about anything, ask it. Don't hesitate. There are managers who might be stop you from asking. They will say कि भाई ठीक है, तुम मुझे बाद में पूछ लेना. तो ask them. My personal experience wasn't like that actually. I'm grateful for that. My manager was like, whenever you have any doubt, ask it, even if you are on a call. So that was actually very helpful. Ask everything. And going to the offshore people, understanding accents is also a very important thing. And funny enough, understanding the British accent was actually helpful by watching Harry Potter. So yeah, I am thankful to that.
It was quite interesting the way you said that. Accents also you need to understand. That is also
There
an
are
important point.
variety of accents, and even sometimes we get boggled कि भाई ये क्या बोल रहा है ये. It's very you know, it gets good by experience. You start to
Yes,
understand people.
that's true. Moving on to the next question. How are you balancing your corporate workload with your CA final studies?
See, managing is a different thing, and balancing is a different thing. Right now, I wouldn't say I am balancing it. I am managing it. I am trying
Okay.
to study in the morning. I am trying to find some free time, if possible, in the evening or sometime in the office as well. Whenever I have time, whenever you know there isn't any work to do. So, yeah, that's the thing about studies. You won't find any time. Truly speaking, you won't find much time about studying. But if you are disciplined, my mentor personally said ki don't try to target 3 to 4 hours. Even if you study 1 hour daily, if you maintain that consistency, that much is enough. So I'm trying to focus on that consistency, that at least I'm able to study 1 or 2 hours at least a day.
Smartly answered, actually.
Thank you.
So, one last question. That is, what's one common misconception about industrial training that you would like to break?
Misconception. uh, I'd say referrals always don't work. This is true. This is not a misconception. People have a this is from my personal experience and the people I have talked to, that getting a referral and the referral works, that's a very rare thing. See, because whenever you are applying to an MNC, think about it from their point of view. I am an intern at an MNC. I have given a referral to someone, and I have in my organizational chart an ED, and he gives a referral. Think about the impact that referral will have over mine. This is not an actual case. I'm just giving an example. So
Yeah, yeah.
think about it. That this happens. So referral, if you want to take referral, take it from someone who is up at the organizational chart. And I by up, I don't mean you start messaging the CEO. Responsible people, directors, VPs, AVPs, these are the people who will be able to get you good referrals. But it doesn't mean that if they have given you referral, you will get a call from the company. Please understand that. Ki getting call from the company and getting referral are two separate things. They might give you referral, but you might not receive the call because HR is not comfortable with that. That is a possibility. That is one factor of HR. So yeah, keep that in mind.
Okay. Nicely answered all 5 questions. So,
Thank you.
one quick icebreaker question. Quick, huh? Name 3 countries you collaborated with during UBS training.
3 countries. I have collaborated with US. I'm currently collaborating with US. I'm collaborating with the UK, and I am collaborating with the Europe part.
Okay. Any one more name you want to add?
There is a
Specific.
small Japanese part. We don't directly talk to their people, but yeah, we are engaging with that part as
Okay, so Japan is one more addition to the country's name, like overall experience.
well. That's why I said accents are always important.
Yeah, actually. So, guys, you can ask your questions now for Prashant. Any more questions you have? Please note down. Any questions? You can raise your hand so I can wait for the questions. Yeah, we have one question. Do HRs prefer from Big Six and UBS?
See, that is also a misconception.
Okay.
That I am from Big Six, but my colleagues, my friends, other interns, they are all not from Big Six. Some are from Big Four, some are from Big Six, and some are from even a mid-sized firm. So getting that misconception is not good. It needs to be cleared. It isn't about which firm you are coming from. It is about, as I said, you have to give some edge. That's what works.
Okay. Any more questions? Okay, so we'll end for the questions part. Okay, sorry. One more question. Does number of attempts count for industrial training?
See, for industrial training, it doesn't matter much. But once you pass industrial training, once you end your industrial training, once you give your final exam, at that point of time, yes, attempt matters. If you have passed your CA in first attempt, they will prefer you over a person who has passed in 2 or 3 attempts. So for CA, final attempt matters. For inter, I don't think attempt matters because, as I said, the friends, the interns that I have right now with me on the floor, they are not. They have all not passed on first attempt.
So we are done with the questions part. Okay. So now I would like all the panelists to come together to answer the questions. We'll have a quick rapid fire. Okay. I guess I'm audible to all of you.
Yes.
Yes. Rapid fire
Yes,
for all the
yes.
speakers. Will answer in the sequence we started with our session. Okay. Starting from Kunal and all. Question will be same for you guys, but one by one you will answer. Okay. And it will be quick.
Okay,
So
sure.
first question is one mistakes one mistake students should avoid in industrial training.
Uh, to not keep up with their managers, I would think they should avoid that.
Okay. Tirth.
Once you get an industrial training, don't be contained that okay, I already got an offer, I don't need to find anything else. Keep exploring.
Okay. Sarthak. Sarthak?
Hey, buddy, can you pardon on the question, please?
Okay, I'll repeat the question. One mistake students should avoid in industrial training. Quick one.
One mistake students should avoid in industrial training. Don't focus on brand focus on brand, and I would say stipend. This is really a tricky one. One company which would be paying a good money would surely give you a good exposure, and at least because people tend to just kind of get boggled into a lot of different domains, and I feel you can filter out companies using brands and stipend.
Okay, so don't focus on brands. Okay, so Prachi, what's your say?
Don't focus on brands, but focus on your CA finals.
Okay, okay, and Prashant.
Mine would be curious. Don't stop being curious. Ask away anything you have, and always be aware about the practical insights. And always, don't just focus on industrial training. Be aware about finance.
Okay, well said, all guys. Next question for rapid fire is your top skill takeaway.
Financial modeling for me.
Okay, Tirth,
And explaining in crisp.
Sarthak,
I would say for me also it will be financial modeling.
okay, Prachi,
Power BI dashboards.
okay, Prashant.
Excel, Power BI, and Oracle.
Okay, so guys, you can note it down, audience. Just note it down, fast skill takeaways. So you can apply it. One last rapid fire question is one piece of advice for students choosing between articleship and training.
That don't choose industrial training just for the sake of it. If you have a good articleship exposure and you want to continue with that field, then you can always go forward with it. Just don't do it for the sake of it.
Okay.
Utilize your opportunity of industrial training to explore one more domain or one more field which you can't do in your articleship, rather than continuing same thing and all this.
Okay. Satak?
I would say definitely go for industrial training. Find your dream domain because you'll get a sort of an exposure which you never thought of. And also focus that 1 year of articleship to get much of your opportunities, unlike stat audit, which would not give you risky areas. But yeah, definitely go for industrial.
Prachi?
Could you please repeat the question?
Yeah. One piece of advice for students choosing between articleship and training.
Again, it would be same key. Look where you will get more study time.
Okay.
Yes, because sometimes industrial training is also toxic.
Okay. Prashant?
Continuing the point about the toxicity, you should always compare articleship and industrial training properly. How is the team here? How will be the team there? How will be the team there? That you will know by talking to the people who are in the organization on LinkedIn, and they will answer. Uh, Compare everything about your articleship and industrial training, the domain, the stipend, obviously, and every other thing, every feasibility that you should have, and then decide by pros and cons that you should go for industrial or not.
Okay, so we have done with our rapid fire questions, and the questions answers were so rapid. Like you were like, okay, I have this answer. Like, yes, you shouldn't do this. You should do this. Okay, like, wow, nice. So we will open the question and answer box for everyone, and you can ask your question to all the five panelists. I guess I have one question. Shreyash, he's having one question.
Hello
So
everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So my question to all is that means I have not fixed that whether I have to do practice or job. Means it's my like kind of practice I'm going 60% and for job I'm going for 40%. So I'm still confused that whether I should join for industrial training or not.
So, Shreyas, you can definitely explore, and it might help you in getting a clear understanding whether you want to go for practice or job. Because industrial training is way different from a typical CA firm.
To add here, Sheesh, you said you are confused about whether you want to do the job or whether you want to go for practice. So find a domain for industrial training which is useful in both cases. For example, if you go into, let's say, global finance role, or you go into uh, wealth management, or the other panel is that the domain FP&A. Uh, these domains are something which are useful in your practice as well as in your job. So find something that will be neutral. So you will be able to decide properly whether you want to do job or whether you want to do practice. But always remember कि these any domain you prefer, the practice will work when you have good connections.
Can I add?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Keeping Prachi's thought process in mind, of course, if studies are not impacted, I would definitely say, of course, it's a long run thought process to decide on to career which exactly you need to land in, firm or a job profile. But if you are getting a good opportunity for industrial training, I feel that you should not miss on it.
Can I add? Hello.
Yeah, till
Yes.
yeah.
So since you are in your articleship, you have already seen the practice phase, and now I guess this is the age where you can afford to experiment rather than post qualification. If you are even inclined 40% about your job, then you can get to your get your favorable industrial training domain and just experience yourself how a day in job looks like, or how a year in job looks like, which will even give you the best answer after completing your CA, rather than you would be stuck after CA that whether should I go for job practice and all this stuff.
Hello.
Yeah.
So to add to that, to specifically answer Shreyash's question, see, one thing that you need to understand, job करोगे या practice करोगे, कुछ तो एक पर्टिकुलर फील्ड में शायद आप स्पेशलाइज करोगे, ठीक है? तो वो फील्ड की इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रेनिंग सुनो, once you get that you should go for it, because understand one thing कि mid size firm का प्रोसेस और जो बड़े कंपनीज का प्रोसेस होता है उसमें बहुत ज्यादा फर्क होता है. If you are getting a combination of both of that, you also know how the work happens at a ground level and in such a big company. तो जब आप खुद का मेरी प्रैक्टिस भी चालू करने जाओगे ना, तो उसमें बहुत एडवांटेज पड़ेगा, बिकॉज यू नो इन्स एंड आउट्स ऑफ एवरीथिंग. एंड ऑल्सो द फैक्ट कि अगर जॉब जाओगे तो अच्छा ही है, आपके पास अच्छा सीवी रहेगा फिर वो वाले केस में.
Okay. Yes. Thank you so much, everyone. I got my answer. Thank you.
Okay. One more question is there. How to decide in which field we should get our internship? Like, for example, how to compare FP&A or M&A as a career option? Like, everyone can answer on that. Anyone want to add specific points on this
Shall I start?
question?
Okay.
Yeah, you can.
Between FPN and MNM, see, both are two complete different things. FPN is all about costing and in-house costing, in-house revenue, and all these things. MNM is about acquiring the things out. So they are not much related. First thing, give a best shot that just prioritize whether FPN is first or MNA is first, and then go for that industrial training. For me, it was FPN and private equity. I didn't found in private equity, but FPN was my second preference. So yeah, you can make decision accordingly.
Okay. No one else want to add? Okay, so we'll stop for the question and answer round 2 now. I guess every panelist was happy to answer the questions, and you have enjoyed all the questions through this session.
Yes.
So, moving toward the end of our session, I would say industrial training is not just about learning beyond books, it's about gaining exposure, building networks, and preparing for a successful career ahead. So, on behalf of the organizing team, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all our esteemed panelists for sharing their valuable time, knowledge, and experiences with us. Your insights have truly enriched today's session. And a special note of thanks to CA Sachin Minyar sir, Chairman Pune branch, and CA Pragnabam ma'am, Chairperson Pune branch of Vikasa, for their constant support, encouragement, and guidance in making this program possible. I also sincerely thank all the participants and audience members for your active involvement and enthusiasm, which made this session engaging and meaningful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, all. So, wishing each one of you great success in your journey ahead. With that, we conclude this session. Thank you once again and good evening. Have a great
Thanks a lot.
evening
Thanks.
ahead.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Sure.
much.
It was great. It was great meeting you all, having this session. Yes, really. Thank you so much.
Same here. Great questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.